Arguments are a part of every healthy relationship. No couple agrees on every single thing every single time. But imagine being in a relationship where you argue almost every day without resolution. On today's case, Ms. Bozeman says her young fiance's immaturity and sneaky ways has turned their lives into a nonstop screaming match with no end in sight. Add Mr. Rodame's bank-draining gambling addiction and what Ms. Bozeman says is his meddling mother to the mix, and you've got a house divided. Ms. Bozeman says she's been sweeping their issues under the rug for the past 13 years, and she plans to clean them all up today before she trips over them. Let's hear their case.
Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Starr presiding. Your Honor, this is the case of Bozeman versus Rordame.
Ms. Bozeman, Mr. Rordame. Ms. Bozeman, you are here in court today because you say your fiancé is a liar, a cheater, and a mama's boy. You say you're tired of dealing with his immature ways, and you are ready to call it quits.
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Rordame, you are here today because you say you want to save your relationship. You say even though she's controlling, you love Ms. Bozeman, and you can't imagine your life without her.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so I'm telling you right now, it sounds like we are at a bit of a crossroads. And Ms. Bozeman, I need you to tell us how we got here today.
So what brought me here today is David's maturity level. We've been together for 13 years, and he hasn't grown emotionally at all. And he gambles, he goes to strip clubs, he blows through our cash, he drinks, and I can't do this anymore.
13 years sounds like a long time to be putting up with what sounds like a whole lot of toxicity. Let me turn to Mr. Rordame. What do you say to those accusations, sir?
I admit to drinking and gambling, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Rordame, if you admit to it, what kind of help have you been trying to get?
I've been trying to do better.
By yourself, or have you brought in somebody to help you?
I brought my mother in.
Well, I can tell you, mamas can do a whole lot of things, but if it's an addiction, we probably have to do some professional help. Do you at least agree that it is an addiction?
I do agree, Your Honor.
So we might need to look at what we should do to try to fix that. Ms. Bozeman, why don't you take us through how we got here, especially when it comes to the gambling, so we know what we're dealing with.
Yeah, so we set it off with, David gambling, and I looked at the account. The account had been drained of $1,500.
That's a lot of money now.
It is a lot of money, and I work really, really hard. And there's no way of getting it back. So I'm a nurse, I work 12 hours a day.
Oh, may I first of all interrupt you and say thank you, because you are a frontline worker, and Lord knows that you have been working your rear end off at least for the last 2-3 years in the middle of a global pandemic, and none of us could do it without the work that you all have done. And so I just want to say thank you on that.
Thank you.
Ms. Bozeman, you all do joint checking account?
We do.
And there was $1,500 in there, and then there was a day when that money wasn't there?
Correct.
Explain to me what ended up happening.
So David admitted that he had gone and blown the $1,500.
But $1,500 is a lot of money. So how do you all put money into the account? You know, do you put in...
I have checks
I
that
work
go
7 days a week, Your Honor.
Okay, and do you deposit money into the account?
Every week, I deposit
No.
my check in there.
No, he doesn't get checks, he gets cash. I get checks that are direct deposited into the account. Any money that he has in his
I work
pocket
7
goes
days
to
a
the
week, Your
strip
Honor.
club, and to the gambling, and to the drinking.
But I think, Mr. Rordame, at least you would have to agree, unless you all are part of the Bezos family, $1,500 is a lot of money to just spend on gambling or anything else.
I was hoping that we could win.
Win what? Were you on Let's Make a Deal or something that I don't know about?
No.
What were you gonna win?
I was gonna win on the crap table. I was rolling the dice that night.
You spoke about...
Boy, you know the house always wins. You know they're gonna take your money. Now, come on.
I was feeling very lucky.
Yeah, he's an idiot.
But you lost $1,500.
I could have won it back, though.
And then he goes, family, we go to the ATM in Vegas, and he drains another $1,000 out.
I was feeling lucky that day.
Mr. Rordame, you and your feelings of luck notwithstanding, That's $2,500 that I just heard about. That's a lot of money.
She's at online gambling, and she does Amazon and orders packages
Yeah,
daily.
you know, I order toilet paper and paper towel. I didn't know that was a luxury item.
Dishes and other necessities that are not needed.
Cleaning supplies. But I mean, you know, getting back to the gambling, he
all that jewelry
drinks.
that
The
you
thing
don't
is
wear.
that it sets it off with the alcohol every single time.
So if he drinks more than he should, then he moves into that second addiction, which is the gambling.
Right.
So
And I can make it back. I promise, baby, I can make it back. No.
Why don't you separate that? Why don't you put a household account together so that you know bare necessities are taken care of?
I agree with you, Your Honor. And actually, that is something, before coming to court with you today, I set up a separate account.
So that's one thing that you can do to protect yourself and to protect your home.
Right.
And that's something that absolutely has to happen. And Mr. Rordame, notwithstanding any feeling of luck, I wouldn't let you have another dollar out of my money. I'm letting you know that right now.
I know I could win it back, though.
No, but you're not going to get a chance, because what you're not going to do is jeopardize my ability to have shelter every single day, or to have food in the refrigerator, or lights that come on, or a refrigerator that when it opens, the food's not spoiled because they
Right.
turned off my electricity.
Exactly.
That's what you're not going to do.
Exactly.
You're a grown man, and grown men take on grown people's responsibilities. And I don't know if your mother's ever told you that, but I'm going to tell you that right now when she comes to testify, because you brought your mother to court today, I'm going to let her hear that I said it.
Right.
Because grown people need to take on grown people's responsibilities, and it ain't cute no more.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, this seeps into the next addiction, which is the strip clubs. He had an appointment with his aunt to take her to dialysis. Come to find out, he was at the strip club, forgot to pick her up.
I was off work early, Your Honor. She was stressing me out. I had to have a drink.
So then that tells me that's another addiction. He goes to the strip club to avoid going home, which means you are going to the strip club to avoid being with Miss Bozeman. Okay.
So the drinking, the gambling, the strip clubs. He had an appointment with his aunt to go to dialysis, to take her to dialysis. I'm at work, okay? Come to find out, he was at the strip club, forgot to pick her up. It's a necessity that she gets dialysis.
Ms. Rordame, I know you did not leave a family member hanging when you were supposed to take him to dialysis.
I was off work early, Your Honor.
At the strip
I
club,
stopped
Your
for a
Honor.
drink.
So, okay, I want to be very clear. You went to work, you got off work early, you knew you had an appointment to do something for your aunt, a sick aunt who has life-saving treatment that day. So instead of going home early to see if she needed something or something productive that you could do, you stopped off at the strip club so that you could have a drink.
She was stressing me out. I had to have a drink.
Oh, yeah.
So then that tells me that's another addiction.
Well, we got
That
one
you
more.
needed a drink in the middle of the day, that you couldn't take your aunt to dialysis.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, and so we've got these three addictions which have led to the fourth, which is, I believe, a sex addiction, because I believe he's cheating on me now.
What makes you say that he's cheating?
So David and I have a really open relationship with regard to, you know, our telephones. And
He has your codes and you
yeah,
have
I have
his.
his code. When we speak on the phone with family or friends, we always on speakerphone. You know, we don't go into the bedrooms and
You're not
listen to-
sneaky.
We're not sneaky, exactly. But he's been sneaky.
Give me some examples of what makes you say that this
Well, he
behavior
smells
leads
like
you to
cheap
cheat.
perfume.
Uh-oh.
Let's start with that. I wear Coco Chanel, not Gina Tay.
Ooh. That's called low. Like, not only are you cheating, but you cheating with.
She's smelling my clothes. I mean, I got off work.
He smells
What
like
can
a
I say?
strip club. He smells like stripper.
She's looking into my phone.
I'm sorry, I thought they said they had an open
Right.
relationship where y'all look at each other's phones and you share
Well, I seen
location.
names in her phone, so I got worried. And I started looking at the names, and I called him, and I found out.
Oh my God,
she
you're a
was calling
landscaper. You smell like mud, not
So,
cheap perfume.
Mr. Rordame, let's just call a spade a spade. Are you stepping outside of your relationship with other women?
I did in the past, but I'm not anymore.
And what makes you think that Miss Bozeman should trust you?
Because I'm growing, I'm doing better now, and I haven't been drinking. I haven't even had a drink today.
But he's not going to any programs. I'm a nurse. I mean, we've got a million programs that he could go to for gambling, for sex addiction,
I go
for
to the strip club
alcoholism.
to avoid going home.
Oh, the strip club is a great place for therapy.
But Ms. Bozeman, I think you just didn't hear what he just said. He goes to the strip club to avoid going home, which means you are going to the strip club to avoid being with Ms. Bozeman.
My mom knows that I'm not a cheater. She's my witness.
Okay, well, you know what? Your mother is here, and I would love to hear from her.
Yeah, we could hear from her. She's
Okay,
right here.
and so that would be very, very good. Miss Rordame, if you don't mind joining us, I'd appreciate it if you would join us here.
Okay.
Your name is Tammy Rordame, am I correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay, yes, ma'am. Why should Miss Bozeman trust your son?
He's been to programs. Haven't you been to AA
I
programs?
have been to programs.
I can look at you and see that you're still an addict, which definitely means you need to be in programs, not been to programs. You need to
I've
be
been to
in programs.
I've graduated.
If you'd like your case to be heard on divorce court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com. Missed a show? Watch full episodes on our streaming platforms and follow us on social media for exclusive content. Your name is Tammy Rordame, am I correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay, yes, ma'am. Welcome to Divorce Court. I'm glad that you are here. I understand you are the defendant's mother. So here's my question, because you've been around this relationship for its duration. Why should Miss Bozeman trust your son with what he's saying about changes when I have not seen right here any active movement towards change? You're his mom, you'll know better than anyone.
He's been to programs. Haven't you been to AA programs?
I have been to programs.
Yeah, and he hasn't.
I haven't even had a drink today.
He doesn't do this regularly, and they did it in the past because they were living in Las Vegas and California and places where you can gamble. You can't do that in Utah.
So, Ms. Rordame, I'm glad to hear that Mr. Rordame said he has not had a drink today. So if we can legitimately say you're 24 hours sober, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
I say congratulations, but you understand that is just one achievement.
She calls me a mama's boy.
You are a mama's boy. He's not in a program now. See, she's not dealing in the
I've been to
now.
programs in the past.
Ben done.
I completely going to stop you there, Ms. Bozeman, because I'm going to turn to Mr. Rordame. I can tell you right now, I can look at you and see that you're still an addict. I can look at you, then see that you're still an addict, which definitely means you need to be in programs, not been to programs. You need to be in programs.
I've graduated.
No, you haven't.
No.
Yes, I have.
No, you have not graduated, because
I have graduated,
listen,
Your Honor.
I have friends that are addicts and been addicts for 40 years, and they are 40 years sober, and they still go to meetings. You want to know why? Because he knows that's how you stay sober for 40 years.
Right. There's only 24 hours in a day, and that's how you can stay sober.
Rehab's
You have
for
to go to
quitters.
meetings.
I beg your pardon?
Rehab's for quitters. I enjoy drinking.
Well, you know what?
God.
That answers your question.
Yeah, I mean...
Miss
and-
Rordame, if you heard what your son just said, rehab is for quitters, and he enjoys drinking. And he seems to be very proud of it.
Right,
Because I'm not
have
going to
a
be
problem.
judgmental. If you say it's not a problem,
right.
So now we
there's
turn
just a
over to you.
level- There's a level of maturity that it seeps into. Again, Your Honor, she moved in 3 months ago with us. This is so petty and ridiculous, but we have what we call soda wars in the house, okay? I like Diet Pepsi, she likes Diet Coke.
y'all can do
know,
a commercial.
Yeah, we could. We could do a commercial. But,
Get
I
some
mean, I'm not
blindfolds.
buying diamond rings, okay? And it gets real petty to the point where she'll pour my Pepsis down the sink.
That's not true.
First of all, I still am curious why your almost mother-in-law moved into the house, and it doesn't seem like that was a joint decision.
That
It was
my
a joint
Your
decision.
Honor.
It wasn't your decision. It was a joint decision. I agreed to let it happen.
She makes a big
lost her
deal.
Social
I
Security.
take care of my mom.
So we moved her in, but it's not supposed to be forever. I can't have a third wheel in our relationship. I can't do what I have with him right now, let alone deal with Tammy and her level of immaturity.
Let me turn to you, Mrs. Rordame. I appreciate that you came in today. I know that anytime a mother has to defend her son, she's going to. So I do want to give you the opportunity. Do you have personal issues with the plaintiff?
No, just that she really doesn't do any work around the house or help out in anything.
She won't
But
even
Ms.
help
Rordame,
wash
just
the
so that I'm
dishes.
clear, she's working like crazy shifts.
Exactly.
She's not
Your
working
Honor.
now.
Are you no longer a nurse, ma'am?
I'm a nurse. I eat at work, Your Honor. I don't make dishes.
My
4
mom
days a
doesn't need to
week.
be washing the dishes.
Oh, come on.
Here's my question.
I eat the same
Here's
thing
my
every
question.
day.
Here's my question. Mrs. Rordame, do you work outside the home or are you just there at the house?
I'm just at the house now.
Okay. Is there a reason why you can't help out since...
Oh, I help out.
Okay.
She doesn't help out.
I'm just
She
questioning.
does help out.
No,
I'm
she
just
doesn't.
She does all
questioning.
your cleaning.
Nothing.
I'm just questioning because every time I've heard of someone being invited to stay at someone's home as their guest, I've only heard guests are very happy to help out around
Oh, I
the
am
house.
happy to help out when I can.
Okay, so help me to understand why whatever amount of soft drinks Miss Bozeman drinks is a problem in
She
the
loves
house.
Pepsi.
I just think she shouldn't drink soda. My soda.
Oh,
Like, I'll get my own soda, and then she'll drink her soda, and then some of my soda.
And
Now
I'm
I get it.
buying the soda. I mean,
Soda pop, guys.
what does
buying
it
the soda.
matter?
This is what
I
I
make
deal with
sure
daily.
she's
I buy
not
this
going.
my
You
own
wonder why I
soda.
drink.
She's not going without, Your Honor. For
thank
God's
you
sake.
very, very much for joining me, Miss Rordame. I appreciate it. You can take your seat.
Okay.
I appreciate it. Ms. Bozeman, the reason that I stayed in that space there for a minute because I really wanted to see if there was anything there that I could hold on to as motivation for me to tell you that this is a good relationship for you to be in.
Right.
And I can honestly say to you, you came today to end your engagement. You said if things were not going to change. You said that your fiancé is immature and you think he's a cheater. I'm not sure that he's a cheater. Immature, you have proven more and more and more than you needed to. You feel like your relationship is with him and his mother. I completely agree with you. And you say you want him to move out. Mr. Rordame, you said you came here to save your relationship, and I don't see that, not in the least tiny bit. You say you're not a cheater, and you know what? I'm going to take you at your word. But you think that this is all stemming from the plaintiff's insecurities. No, it's not stemming from her insecurities. It's stemming from you not acknowledging where you are in your life. You are a drunk gambler who is addicted to things, and you need to deal with that. And if you're not going to, that's okay. But you don't need to bring another woman into it. You don't need to bring another person into it. And you don't need to jeopardize her life and her safety and her security. So I turn to you, Ms. Bozeman.
Yes.
You have a lot of life ahead.
I want
Okay?
them out. I want
So
them to
it's
go.
time for you to make the determination.
She's the one who's gonna have to
It's
leave. Me
done.
and my mom can stay.
Okay? Let him go, be with God, do what he needs to do. But you need to put on your big girl shoes and take care of you.
Yeah, they need to
Because
go.
this person right here is never going to be who you want.
No, I know
He's
that.
never going to be who you deserve. He's never going to tell you the truth. He may not be cheating, but who cares? Why would you want a loser? Because that is what you got, mama. Well, I've not seen a loser like that in a long time.
Wow. That's what I like to say.
Wow, exactly. I mean, the sad part about it is it's so clear that he has multiple addictions
Right.
piled on top of other addictions.
Right.
And he has somebody that's right there helping him along and helping him to believe that he is okay.
Listen, I'm not a gambling man, but I bet you he's gonna have a drink after today.
Oh, guaranteed. And I can tell you that if Ms. Bozeman don't get herself together, she gonna end up in the grave herself.
Yeah.
Ooh, this whole thing was sad.
Yeah.